Marriage. That beautiful institution where you learn the true meaning of love, compromise, and occasionally being kicked awake at 6 a.m. because you yelled your secretary's name in your sleep. Let me tell you the story of Todd and Lisa, a perfectly average married couple with perfectly average problems, until one not-so-average morning spiraled into 50 shades of suspicious. Lisa rolled over in bed, still half asleep, and gave Todd a gentle nudge. Lisa, yawning, "Honey, maybe don't go to work today." Todd, half asleep, "Huh? Did the office catch fire?" Lisa, "No, I think you need a break. You've been working really hard lately." Now Todd, still groggy, blinked a few times. His inner monologue was somewhere between suspicion and hope. Todd, narration. "Wait a second, my wife just told me to take a vacation? I mean, either I'm dreaming or this is a trap. Nope, too risky to ask. Just pack and run, Todd. Pack and run." Zipper opening, frantic clothes shuffling. Todd leapt out of bed like a man fleeing tax evasion. He was stuffing socks and Hawaiian shirts into a duffel bag like he was auditioning for Survivor Couch Edition. Todd, calling out, "Quick question, babe. Just wondering what made you decide I needed a break?" Lisa, cheerful but too cheerful. "Oh, you were dreaming about work all night." Todd, relieved. "Oh, haha, that makes sense. I've been buried in spreadsheets and—" Lisa, cutting him off, smiling sweetly. "And every 2 minutes, you were moaning, 'Samantha, oh Samantha,' with enough passion to get us banned from Netflix." Cue dramatic pause. Todd, narration. "Oh no." Todd immediately pivoted from vacation mode to panic mode. He zipped up his bag, walked back to Lisa with his best innocent face and said, "Todd, now wait a second, let's not jump to conclusions. Samantha could mean anything. It could be a sandwich. Yes, the Samantha Club sandwich." Lisa, crossing arms. "Oh, a sandwich, huh? Does the Samantha sandwich wear tight skirts and heels?" Todd, "Well, if it's from that fancy deli downtown." Lisa sat Todd down at the kitchen table like a detective about to break a suspect. "Tell me, what exactly do you and Samantha the sandwich do at work?" Todd, "Well, she assembles things with layers." Lisa, deadpan, "You mean like a BLT or a believable lie?" Todd realized he'd had two options: come clean and face a storm. Invent the world's most elaborate backstory. Naturally, he chose option 2. Todd, dramatically, "You see, Samantha is actually a code name for my boss. It's part of a top-secret project called Operation Pastrami. National security stuff. I can't say more." Lisa, "Right. And what's my role in this top-secret mission?" Todd, "You're, the director of sauce and side dishes." Lisa, "Perfect. I'd like to speak with the colonel of mayo and the lieutenant of lettuce next." Just then, Todd's phone buzzed. He instinctively answered on speaker. Phone, Samantha's voice. "Hey, Todd, just wanted to remind you about our 10 a.m. positioning meeting." Todd, Lisa, positioning?" Phone, Samantha, "Yeah, the meeting where we review all the back-end positions. You know, from behind." Todd, voice cracking. "Oh, dear God." Lisa smiled, stood up and grabbed Todd's duffel bag. "You know what, sweetie? I insist. Take that vacation." Todd, hopeful. "Really? You mean it?" Lisa, "Yep. Go ahead. I already texted Samantha your hotel reservation." Todd, alarmed. "Wait, how did you know which hotel?" Lisa, "Darling, I booked it." Hotel lobby ambience, Todd checking in. Confused and paranoid as Todd entered the hotel room, expecting either reconciliation or total destruction, he found nothing. No Samantha, no hidden camera crew. Just a note on the bed. "Enjoy your stay. Hope you enjoy sleeping alone for the rest of your life. P.S. I sold your golf clubs to pay for this room. P.P.S. Samantha called. I told her you cried after getting a paper cut. She agreed to block you. Love, the director of sauce and side dishes." So what did we learn today, folks? If you're going to dream about another woman, don't shout her name in your sleep. Or better yet, just don't dream about her at all, especially if she works in your office and calls your meetings positioning sessions. Because in the end, there's no vacation long enough to escape a woman who's had access to your phone, your credit card, and your Netflix password. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this wild ride. If you laughed, gasped, or cringed at least once, go ahead and smash that like button. Drop a comment with the worst dream mistake you've ever made. And of course, subscribe for more hilarious Reddit-style stories every week. Until next time, dream carefully. And maybe set an alarm before your secrets shout themselves awake. Ever taken a side gig and thought, what's the worst that could happen? Well, let me tell you about the time I wore a gorilla suit for money and ended up dangling above a lion enclosure, praying I wouldn't become lunch. Yeah, buckle in. This story is bananas, literally. So here's how it all started. I was broke. Not skip Starbucks broke. I mean, reheat ramen water and call it broth broke. One day, I'm walking past the local zoo. Yes, that one with more pigeons than exotic animals. And I see a handwritten sign, help wanted, immediate hire. Must be able to sweat profusely and move like a gorilla. $100 a day. Look, I wasn't proud. I'd already applied to be a sign spinner dressed as a taco. Gorilla was an upgrade. I walk in. The zookeeper, a guy who looked like he wrestled crocodiles for fun, says, "Our gorilla died last week." I gasp. He adds, "Not from anything suspicious, just boredom." Apparently, this zoo had one main attraction, Bongo, the world's sassiest gorilla. He danced, he clapped, he flung poo on command. Now he was gone, and attendance had dropped harder than my GPA in college. "So, Crocodile Dundee says, you in?" I nodded before I even read the fine print. Mistake number one, the suit. Oh man, you know how people say, one size fits all? Yeah, this one size fit absolutely no one. I looked like a furry, deflated balloon. It smelled like gym socks and wet dog, and somehow I got used to it. Day one, I was just supposed to wave and beat my chest. By day three, I was doing flips, throwing bananas, and teaching toddler how to dab. I became a legend. The gorilla with soul, they called me. One kid threw me a peanut butter sandwich. I cried in the suit. It had been days since I tasted anything not vending machine adjacent. But fame, it changes you. I started improvising, juggling zoo maps, moonwalking. I even twerked once, almost lost the tail. The zoo manager pulled me aside. "Numbers are spiking, keep it up." Then he added, "We're not replacing Bongo." You are Bongo now. Great. I'd gone from broke eye to full-time monkey impersonator. 3 weeks in, the crowd started thinning. Apparently, once you've seen a gorilla do the Macarena, you don't need to see it twice. Desperate to keep my job, I pitched an idea. What if Bongo interacts with other animals? The zookeeper raised an eyebrow. You mean, like the flamingos? Too pink. What about the lions? He stared at me like I just suggested wrestling a blender. But to my surprise, he said, "If you don't die, this could go viral." Great. Encouraging. So the plan was, I'd climb the net that separated our enclosures, wave, beat my chest, maybe toss a rubber chicken. What could go wrong? Let me paint the picture. It's Saturday. Packed zoo. Parrots, kids, hot dog vendors, a guy trying to sell NFTs of giraffes. I get into character. Chest pounding, screeching. Classic Bongo. I climb up the enclosure netting like a budget King Kong. And then I slip. Now, I've fallen before. Off a scooter, off a couch, even emotionally once during The Notebook. But nothing prepares you for the sight of 3 lions looking up at you like, "Ooh, lunch in a costume." I scream. Not a tough guy scream. Like a my voice cracked and a toddler laugh scream. "Help! Somebody help!" The crowd gasps. Phones come out. I hit the ground with a thud so loud. Even the penguins looked over like, damn. A lion starts strutting over. Slow, regal, hungry. I brace myself. This is it. Goodbye, cruel world. Then he gets real close, leans in, and whispers, "Shut up, man. You're gonna get us all fired." I blinked. The lion just winked. Then another one strolls over, pulls off his mane. It's Larry, the snack bar guy. "Nice landing," he says. The lions were fake. Well, okay, not fake, but actors. Part-time mascots. The real lions were on vacation or something. I wasn't the only one in costume. This entire zoo was more theater than National Geographic. After the lion incident, I got promoted. Director of Primate Performance, they called it. I got business cards. a locker. I even got to choreograph a baboon ballet. But deep down, I knew this couldn't last. Eventually, real gorillas would return. The actors would go back to improv class, and I would be just a man in a sweaty suit again. One day, I took off the costume mid-performance, walked out. The kids gasped. Bongo's a person? One mom fainted. The zoo had to issue a press release. I started a new life. Went on podcasts, TED Talks, wrote a memoir. From furry to free, my life behind the mask. Now I look back and laugh. People ask, was it worth it? Absolutely. I made people smile. I learned acrobatics, and I never looked at a banana the same way again. Also, I now know at least 3 ways to escape a lion enclosure, which is oddly useful on dating apps. So, if you're ever offered a weird job, think of me. A guy who wore a gorilla suit fell into a lion pit and discovered that even the wildest gigs have a punchline. If you laughed, gasped, or just want to see more of my nonsense, like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, never judge a lion by its costume. See you in the next story. Ever seen 2 people turn a cardboard sign into a full-blown money-making business? Well, buckle up. This is the hilarious, ridiculous, and entirely unexpected tale of how 2 complete strangers went from broke on the street to running a donation empire, all because of one magic phrase written on a piece of cardboard. This story has it all. Awkward first meetings, cross-cultural misunderstandings, petty rivalry, high-stakes signboard strategy, and one absurdly rich stray cat. Trust me, you're gonna want to hear how this ends. So picture this. It's a hot Tuesday afternoon. People are grumpy. The buses are late. The pigeons are unionizing. And on a busy sidewalk just outside a coffee shop, we meet our first character, Arjun, a laid-off call center supervisor from Mumbai who's taken to the streets for a temporary fundraiser, as he calls it. Arjun's sign reads, "Lost job, rent overdue, hungry family, anything helps, even compliments." It's simple, heartfelt, and slightly passive-aggressive. Perfect. Now across the street, standing under the only tree in a 5-mile radius, is Tariq, a traveler from Lahore who missed his flight, lost his wallet, and somehow ended up in a completely different city than intended. He's got a backpack, a big smile, and absolutely 0 rupees. Their eyes meet across a sea of honking cars and fried samosa stands. And just like that, a legendary street rivalry is born. Later that day, they both find themselves sitting next to the same chai stall. Arjun sips his cutting chai like a philosopher deep in thought, while Tariq munches on a dry biscuit that may or may not be from the Nehru era. Tariq leans over. "You're new here? Been here a week. You?" "Got here yesterday, accidentally. My Google Maps is drunk." They laugh, and the conversation turns to the business of begging. Arjun, feeling generous and a bit cocky, says, "Look, if you want to make it in this game, you gotta write a killer sign. It's all about pulling the emotional strings." Tariq nods like he's receiving ancient wisdom from a street guru. Arjun proudly shows his sign again. "See? Family, hunger, compliments. That's the trifecta." Tariq thanks him, pulls out a piece of cardboard and starts scribbling something, grinning the whole time. Fast forward to sunset. Arjun checks his basket. A respectable 2,000 rupees. Enough for dinner and maybe a discount haircut. Tariq's basket? Overflowing. He's sitting on a plastic crate like a king, sipping chilled soda and feeding the rich cat who somehow adopted him. Arjun nearly chokes. "What in the holy curry did you put on your sign?" Tariq holds it up. Only 900 rupees away from going home and never asking again. Arjun is stunned. People weren't donating out of pity. They were investing in never seeing him again. Genius! Now it's personal. The next day, Arjun upgrades his sign. "Last day begging. Final push. Wife says if I don't come home with 3,000 rupees, she's marrying our landlord." Tariq, not to be outdone, changes his to, "Please help. My twin brother is across the street. Don't let him win. I have feelings too." Donations double, then triple. people start placing bets on who'll raise more each day. A local uncle starts running a side business printing their signs in glitter. Soon, they're basically influencers. A YouTuber films them and posts it with the title, Emotional Street Battle. Which twin deserves your cash? It goes viral. They get sponsors. One of them gets offered a role in a Netflix docuseries called Street Hustlers, Love, Lies, and Cardboard. But fame, as always, comes at a cost. One evening, they get summoned by the local city council. Apparently, their signs caused too much traffic. A biker crashed into a Pani Puri cart reading Arjun's sign mid-scroll. A woman reportedly Venmo'd Tariq and her landlord by mistake. Chaos. The verdict? No more signs unless it's for actual fundraising. They're devastated. But just then, the rich stray cat, now chubby and famous on Instagram, walks in, carrying a new sign in its mouth. The sign says, "These two idiots fed me every day. Now I'm returning the favor. Adopt me and donate to them." Within minutes, donations pour in again. A tech CEO adopts the cat. Arjun and Tariq retire to Goa and open a chai bar called the Sign Guys. And that, dear viewers, is the story of how two broke guys turned cardboard into cash, rivalry into bromance, and a hungry street cat into a social media icon. Moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of a clever sign, or a sarcastic Pakistani with good handwriting, or a cat with business instincts. If you laughed, chuckled, or even smirked awkwardly in public, hit that like button. Subscribe for more ridiculous tales.